Phoenix Books presents Friendship with God, an Uncommon Dialogue, written by Neale Donald Walsh. This unabridged performance by Neale Donald Walsh with Edward Asner and Ellen Burstyn is copyright 2014 Phoenix Books and is digitally remastered from the original 1999 audio literature sound recording.
Try telling someone you've just had a conversation with God and see what happens. Never mind, I can tell you what happens. Your whole life changes. First, because you've had the conversation. Second, because you've told someone about it. To be fair, I should say that I did more than have a conversation. I had a 6-year dialogue, and I did more than tell someone. I kept a written record of what was said and sent it to a publisher. Things have been very interesting since, and a little surprising. The first surprise was that the publisher actually read the material and even made it into a book. The second surprise was that people actually bought the book and even recommended it to their friends. The third surprise is that their friends recommended it to their friends and even made it into a bestseller. The fourth surprise is that it's now sold in 27 countries. The fifth surprise is that any of this was surprising, given who the co-author was. When God tells you he's going to do something, you can count on it. God always gets her way. And God told me, in the middle of what I thought was a private conversation, that this will one day become a book. I didn't believe him. Of course, I haven't believed 2/3 of what God has been telling me since the day I was born. That's been the problem, not just with me, but with the whole human race. If we would just listen. The book that was published was called, unoriginally enough, Conversations with God. Now, you may not believe that I've had such a conversation, and I have no need for you to believe it. It doesn't change the fact that I did. It simply makes it easier, if you choose to do so, to dismiss out of hand what I was told in that conversation, which some people have done. On the other hand, there have been many people who have not only agreed that such a conversation is possible, but have also made communicating with God a regular part of their own lives. Not just one way communicating, but communicating 2 ways. Those people have learned to be careful who is told about this, however. It turns out that when people say they talk to God every day, they're called devout. But when people say that God talks to them every day, they're called crazy. In my case, that's perfectly okay. As I've said, I have no need for anyone to believe anything that I say. In fact, I'd rather that people listen to their own hearts, find their own truths, seek their...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?